say that I do think the judicial redistricting was the thing to do. The House didn't think so, but that's one of about several hundred bills we passed this year. So we move on to the next step. I do think we had a successful General Assembly, passed the balanced budget. The unemployment compensation reform, I think, was big. I do think one of the first things we got out of the way at the end of the session, so we could get out of the way, was the issue to allow law-abiding citizens to carry a firearm in their car. So if you look at what we were able to accomplish this time and do it in a timely manner, I think I set a goal for the very first of session to be out on, I said April 18th, we ended up being April 19th. And so I think that was good. We did it efficiently and a good job.
Are you going to keep working on the judicial?
No, I don't think so. I think we're finished. It had to be done this year, basically. In order to do that, I think the plan we came up with was reasonable. But see, they're up for election next year. The filing deadline will be somewhere around the 1st of April. So if it wasn't done this year, it couldn't be done. No big deal. That's fine. That was not close to what we started with on that and started looking at. And so it's been that way since 1984, and it'll probably be that way in 2084 now.
What was happening with the state charter authorizing?
Well, there were a few things there that I remember at the side of the aisle they weren't comfortable with. We just thought it'd be better if it's laid over next year. We'll take it up next year.
Was it tied to judicial redistricting at all politically?
Somewhat.
What do you mean?
Somewhat.
It was retaliation, right?
No, it wasn't retaliation. We had I thought the judicial redistricting bill should pass. It didn't, so that's where we are.
Well, you're saying it was retaliation.
It's not retaliation. It's
we're where we are.
What happened on the Judicial Nomination Commission and the Evaluation Commission?
Well, obviously, I thought the judicial, the JPEG, the Performance Evaluation Commission, should have been reconstituted also. They only worked once every 8 years, basically, before the elections. And we tried to reconstitute that. The House didn't want to reconstitute that. And so I think that was tied with also the Judicial Nominating Commission. So both of them failed.
Was this any way to run a railroad?
Absolutely. Absolutely, it is. I think that there's things that we thought need to be done. This is the way that our founding fathers set this up. The House not going to agree on everything.
Holding bills hostage?
No. I think so. The House held bills hostage. Is what you're saying?
No, I'm saying you did. They may have too. I don't know.
Exactly. I think it works either way. It's not holding bills hostage. It's that one bill, one body doesn't agree with the other body, and in the end, that's the way it works. This is first year or second year of 2-year General Assembly. They're all still alive. They can come back next year. The world's not going to come to an end.
There was some strong language in the House from Republicans about the Senate trying to set the tone and that sort of thing. And it seemed like almost they were striking a note of independence since July 4th over in the House.
I've been here for 21 years. I don't know how many sessions that is. 10 sessions, I guess I've been to. And I remember when Jimmy Naphy and John Wilder were here, the House said that we didn't want John Wilder telling us how to run the Senate. The Senate said we didn't want Jimmy Naphy telling us how to run the House. So that'll go on as long as there's a legislature here.
What was the biggest disappointment of the session for you?
I hadn't even thought that through yet. We just now got out of here and I hadn't even thought that through. I didn't even think about disappointments. I think about the good things we have done, and I think the majority of the people in the state of Tennessee will agree with what we did as far as balancing the budget and lowering the death tax another notch and lowering sales tax on food another notch. So I think overall, when you look at it, we had a great General Assembly.
Are you and Speaker Harwell at peace with each other?
Oh, absolutely.
Did a supermajority, how did that go, do you think? I mean, are you surprised about maybe how...
I'll have to say this. When you had disagreements with the other House, my first 2 terms, that was relatively easy. I was serving with Jimmy Naphy one first term. I was serving with Kent Williams being Speaker and basically Jimmy Naphy being Speaker for his second term. And so when you had disagreements, you were battling with the, quote, enemy, so to speak. But now that you have a supermajority on both sides, this is the way it's going to work from here on out. And there's not going to be times we don't agree, just like I didn't agree with Jimmy Naphy. I didn't agree with Kent Williams / Jimmy Naphy for 2 years. So that it's a fact of life. It's not fun to fight with friends or to have disagreements with friends. But in the end, we're all here to govern the state of Tennessee. We have another session to come back to, and we'll all be friends soon. We are now. There's always tension in the session. Look, again, I've been here 10 years, 10 sessions. I've never left when there wasn't some kind of tension. I remember one year that the House and Senate had an agreement, and you all remember this has been here for a while, that they weren't going to adjourn to the other side adjourn. Carl Cola stood up, had an adjournment resolution, and Senate walked out. So this isn't like that there's everybody is happy in a session. This is when the tempers flare, people get a little upset, but we're all friends and want to run the state of Tennessee good in the end.
Do you think you could have worked out some of these issues if you hadn't been trying to get out so? You know what I mean?
I'm not getting out soon. We're getting out on time. I mean, really, I set this goal from the very beginning. I want to do that next year to make sure that we're out in a timely fashion. So, no, if the end of session is April the 19th or June the 19th, there's still those things that are laying on the table at the end of the year.